What do you do when the person you love hands you a gift, and it's the end of everything? The dining room glowed under the soft flicker of a single chandelier. A crisp September evening, the 15th to be exact, our 12th wedding anniversary. I, Daniel Harper, 38, a high school history teacher with a knack for piecing together the past, stood frozen. A sleek black gift box sat on the oak table, tied with a crimson ribbon that shimmered like a warning. My wife, Elise, perched across from me, arms folded tight, her hazel eyes glinting with something sharp. Not love. Not anymore. Open it, she said, her voice slicing through the quiet. It wasn't a request, it was a dare. My chest tightened. 12 years of shared mornings, late-night grading sessions, and quiet drives through Maplewood should have stirred warmth. Instead, dread coiled in my gut, slow and cold. I tugged the ribbon loose, the satin slipping through my fingers, cool and final. The lid lifted. Inside, no velvet box, no watch, no sentimental trinket, just a crisp stack of papers. Divorce papers. Bold black ink screamed my name next to hers. Daniel James Harper versus Elise Marie Harper. My breath caught, a jagged exhale breaking the silence. She leaned back, lips curling into a smirk. It's done. I signed already. Her tone was ice, detached, rehearsed. I traced the words with trembling fingers, each syllable a blade carving through a decade of promises. The room spun. This was supposed to be a night of celebration, wine, her favorite lemon tart, maybe a slow dance to that old jazz record we loved. Instead, she'd wrapped betrayal in a bow and handed it to me like a trophy. I looked up, searching her face. No tears, no hesitation, just that smirk, daring me to crumble. My heart pounded, a drumbeat of shock and something darker. Anger? Maybe? Or the ghost of a love I'd clung to too long. 12 years, and I'd missed the moment she stopped being mine. Or maybe she never was. Welcome to Cheating Stories Diary, where the truth cuts deeper than the lies. The papers hit the table with a soft thud. My hand hovered over the pen, its metal cool and heavy, like a key to a door I'd never wanted to open. I signed, Daniel Harper. The ink bleeding slightly, a shaky smear next to her precise cursive. That's your gift back, I said. My voice a low hum, steady despite the chaos clawing inside. Her smirk flickered, a crack in her armor, then reset like a mask snapping into place. I stood, legs unsteady, and grabbed my phone. The balcony beckoned, its glass door a portal to air I could breathe. The night stung my face, crisp and unforgiving, the faint scent of pine drifting from the yard. My fingers trembled as I dialed Tom, my oldest friend, a lawyer who'd seen me through worse. Yeah. His voice rumbled, grounding me. It's done, I said, the words tasting foreign, like someone else's life. You sure? I glanced back through the glass. Elise sipped her Pinot Noir, thumb flicking across her phone, oblivious or uncaring. I'm sure. The signs had been there, scattered like breadcrumbs I'd refused to follow. 3 months back, her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. 2:17 a.m. I'd padded downstairs for water, bleary-eyed, and seen it. Need you tonight, Jay. My stomach dropped, a cold stone sinking fast. I'd stared, hands shaking, the screen's blue glow casting shadows across the tiles. Doubt whispered, it's nothing. Work stress. Don't overthink. I'd set it down, crept back to bed, her sleeping form a silhouette I still trusted. Then the evidence piled up. A receipt slipped from her purse, $87 at La Rosa's, a restaurant we'd never been to. Dated a night she'd claimed a meeting ran late. Her coat reeked of musk, a scent I didn't recognize, clinging like a stranger's touch. Last week, I'd found a photo on her laptop, careless, left open, her laughing, pressed against some guy in a dim bar, his arms slung low. My chest tightened, breath shallow, as doubt hardened into certainty. I'd snapped a picture with my phone, hands unsteady, the click loud in the silent house. I saw her then, 5 years ago, in a yellow sundress by Lake Huron. A summer picnic, her laugh bright as she tossed bread to the ducks. You're my anchor, Dan, she'd said, her hand squeezing mine. Now that memory twisted, the yellow fading to gray, her words hollow against the truth I held in my shaking hands. Back inside, I collapsed onto the couch, the leather cold against my skin. The house was silent, save for the faint tick of the clock, a metronome to my unraveling. I poured a whiskey, the bottle clinking against the glass, amber sloshing like liquid fire. It burned going down, a match to the ache in my chest. I tried, God, how I tried. Late nights grading essays so we could save for that main trip she'd dreamed of. Pasta dinners when she dragged in exhausted, her smile my reward. Listening when her words dried up, hoping silence was temporary. But love shouldn't feel like this, like a tightrope over broken glass, every step a risk. The glass trembled in my grip. Her face haunted every corner. The living room where we'd sprawled, watching history docs, her teasing my Churchill impression. The bedroom where we'd mapped a future. 2 kids, a retriever, a porch swing. Lies all of it, or maybe just my delusions. Self-blame slithered in. Was I too dull? Too stuck in my routines? Did I miss her drifting away? My throat closed, tears stinging, but I swallowed them. She didn't get to have that piece of me. Isolation pressed down, thick and heavy. No kids to buffer this, no little voices asking why mommy was mad. Friends had faded, her subtle nudges pushing them out. We don't need them, Dan. I'd agreed, blind to her carving me into a solitary island. Grief mingled with anger. Last winter, she'd flinched when I touched her shoulder, her phone clutched tight. Stop hovering, she'd snapped. I'd retreated, blaming myself. Now I saw it. I'd been a ghost in her world, a fixture she'd tired of dusting. I rose, whiskey gone, and returned to the dining room. She didn't look up, her phone a shield, thumb scrolling like this was any Tuesday. Are you moving out tonight? Or do you need a few days? She asked, voice flat, transactional. I let the silence stretch, a weapon of its own. She shifted, unease flickering in her posture. You should pack instead, I said, calm, deliberate. Her head jerked up, eyes narrowing. What? I stepped closer, hands loose in my pockets. This house, it's mine. My name's on the deed. Yours isn't. Her smirk dissolved, panic flashing as she snatched the papers, scanning them. Her fingers whitened, gripping the edges. You're lying. Check the records, I said, shrugging. She did, her breath catching, a small, desperate sound. You, she started, but I cut in. I let you stay because I loved you, because I wanted us to work. Now, you're a guest. Time to go. Her gaze hardened, searching for a crack. I gave you everything, she hissed, voice quaking. I laughed, sharp and hollow. Scraps. Whatever you didn't give him. Her eyes widened, guilt breaking through. A fleeting, raw thing. You knew, she whispered, barely a breath. I tilted my head, letting the pause linger. You weren't careful. The air thickened, heavy with years unsaid. She scoffed, shaking her head. So this is revenge? No, I said, stepping back, voice steady. This is me choosing myself. I opened the door, the night rushing in, cool and final. Leave. Her heels clicked as she stormed out, purse clutched like a lifeline. I didn't watch. The door shut, a soft thud, and I dialed Tom again. She's gone, I said. Good, he replied, voice clipped, efficient. Accounts are frozen, joint ones at least. She'll notice tomorrow. Lawyers filed the papers. Evidence is secure. Evidence I'd gathered in shadows. Screenshots of those texts. Need you tonight. Snapped when she'd left her phone unlocked, careless in her confidence. Bank records showing $200 at a hotel in Traverse City. A weekend she'd claimed a conference. That bar photo, her and him, his hand too low. Sent by a colleague who'd whispered, thought you should know. I'd installed a hidden camera in the study last month, catching her late-night calls, her voice low, laughing with someone who wasn't me. My hands had shaken as I saved the footage, but my resolve hadn't. Financial traps were set. I'd moved my savings to a separate account weeks ago, her name nowhere near it. The joint cards, frozen at midnight, Tom's doing. She'd try to swipe tomorrow, face flushed when they declined. Legal prep had been silent. Divorce papers drafted. My ownership of the house airtight. Inheritance papers from my dad locked in a safe she'd never touched. The public reveal loomed. Our anniversary party next Saturday, her parents, our old college crew, her perfect little world. I'd let it slip there. Elise moved out. She's been with someone else. Quiet, cold, factual. Her mask would crack, and I'd watch from across the room, sipping a drink. But doubt gnawed. Am I overreacting? I saw us on New Year's Eve, snow falling outside, her hand in mine as we toasted to forever. A lump rose in my throat. If we'd had kids, would I forgive her? A son's confused eyes, a daughter's tears. Could I let that sway me? Part of me ached to ask why, to hear her voice break with regret. Another part, still now, crave justice. The jazz record on the shelf, our song mocked me. I turned away, the melody a ghost I wouldn't chase. Tell me in the comments. Do you think she really felt guilty? Or just sorry she got caught? The house was quiet now, not empty, just mine. I poured another whiskey, sat on the couch, and let the weight settle. The pain was there, a dull throb, but so was something new. Freedom. I wasn't broken. I wasn't ruined. I was just me again, Daniel Harper, untethered. She'd stumble soon. The frozen accounts, the lawyer's letter, the whispers at that party. They'd hit her like aftershocks. I pictured her face, the mask cracking, and felt no joy, just clarity. 12 years, and I'd been a shadow in her story. Now she'd feel what it was to lose control. The balcony called again. I stepped out, the September air cool against my skin. Stars blinked above Maplewood, indifferent to the mess below. A memory flickered, her hand in mine, walking these streets, planning a life. It faded, replaced by the present. A man alone, but whole. The whiskey glass clinked against the railing. A small salute to what was gone. I'd rebuild, teach my classes, grade my papers, maybe get that dog we talked about. The house felt lighter now, its silence a canvas, not a cage. Her perfume lingered faintly, but it'd fade. Everything would. And for the first time in years, I smiled. Not at her downfall, but at my own beginning. The jazz record sat silent on the shelf, a relic of a life I'd outgrown. I didn't need its tune anymore. I found my own. Have you ever been left behind by someone you trusted with your life? Share your story below, because stories like these deserve to be told. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. The next story, you won't see it coming.